Today I am going to talk about how next year will be my 6th year as a loan signing agent slash mobile notary, however you want to refer to it. And I know some people have come into the business for a few years and then had to go back to the corporate world. And I think I've told you before, it has been different for me because I was able to get my Social Security a little early. Well, at the age that I could get it, but I didn't wait until like I was 67 or anything. So that helps. And then I have a special needs son, so he has disability. So it's probably easier for me to stay in the business than it might be for someone who's on their own. I guess if you have a spouse with an income, that might be helpful also. But for me, I am, like I said, next year will mark my 6-year anniversary in this business, and some of the things I do to remain in the business are I'll name a few of the things. First thing you want to do is to make sure that you are NNA certified and you get your background check every year, because if you're with signing services, they're gonna start notifying you about 60 days in advance that your background check is expiring. So you want to get that updated in order to continue to get work from them, if you want to get work from signing services. And I do. Most of my business comes from the signing services. I am affiliated with the title company, but just one. And in the past, they have offered me a full-time job, but I felt like I kind of like being able to determine my own work hours. I didn't really want to get back into a 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or whatever the hours might be. So I do work with a title company or an escrow officer, but most of my business comes from signing services. So make sure you're NNA certified. And one of the things that what people will advise you is to invest in a dual tray laser printer, so you don't have to sort the documents. And I don't really. I'm on Notary Rotary. If you have just a single tray printer, and that was all I could find reasonably priced when I started out in this business. So I went to Notary Rotary, and they have an area that'll sort the pages for you. So I use that. I'm still using that, even though I have 2 laser printers. They're both single tray printers. And you want to make sure you always keep your notary commission active and compliant. Another thing that you want to do is to make sure you have a profile on SnapDocs, Sign in Order, 123 Notary, and then a lot of people maybe have one on the Google Business profile. I would think, if I were doing more direct or general notary work, that would be really important for me. But, because some people don't know to go to the Secretary of State website to look up your notary information, or to find a notary and maybe their zip code. But some people have the Google Business profile. That's not something that I have used a lot, but like I said, it's something that maybe you want to do. Just giving you some suggestions on how you might stay in this business for the long haul. And then another thing you want to do is, of course, like I said, you want to build a relationship with a title company or maybe an escrow officer, because you work for the title company. You get all the money. You do not have to share it with the signing services. You get all the money. So That makes a big difference to a lot of people. If you can work with different title companies year round, then that would be awesome. What you want to do in order to get business from title companies, or what was suggested to me when I first got into this business, was to make a little flyer with your business card. You might want to take a small treat, maybe some cookies or something. I tried that once. I didn't really do it because, having been a realtor in the past, I knew the title companies got all kinds of treats there. There are treats, water, soda, drinks, candy. They have all that there. But if you want to try that, then that's on you. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll make you memorable. I'm not sure. You know, I think I told in the past what I did. I did some of that, but the business that I got, I sent an email, and a couple of weeks later, she asked me, was I available to do some work? And you want to make sure that it has your commission details and your E&O insurance information, the areas that you'll work, and then, of course, your availability. Let's see. Another thing maybe you want to do is to offer, you know, general notary work. Like I said, I don't do a whole lot of it. Most of the general notary work I have done was vehicle transfers. But if you are going to do this full time, that might be an area to look into. You know, maybe you want to drop off your business card at hospitals or nursing homes, and you maybe want to advertise that you do power of attorney or real estate documents, or of course vehicle title transfers. And this is something that could, you know, fill in the slow days. So you want to also make sure that you add in your travel fee if you're going to a certain location, because if it's $5 or $10 per stamp, then you know you want to make sure that you're getting paid for gas too. So make sure that you include your travel fee when you're doing some of your general notary work. And then also, if you're doing a lot of general notary work, yeah, it's important to have your business card, and also you might want to get that business card magnetized, because a lot of times people don't keep up with, you know, a regular business card. So maybe you want to get something that'll go on the refrigerator. So if there is a need for you, then they know where to find you. So that's also something you could try. And then it's also important to keep learning. Over the years, most of the documents have just kind of been second nature to me. Most of them are the same. But, you know, maybe something new will come up every now and then that I haven't seen before, but it's usually not too hard to figure out. And if you go over everything before you go to the appointment, then, and you see something that you don't recognize, then you want to call the sign-in service, or if you're working at a title company, you know, ask them what this is or how should I handle this. So it's better to ask when you don't know than look stupid when you don't ask and you try to figure it out and you can't when you get there. You don't want to look ignorant, because they expect you to know everything. So you want to go over everything and know your documents. But like I said, they're mostly the same after all this time. Also, I know in some states they have people that do field inspections or fingerprinting. I don't have that here where I am, but you know, if you want to do like reverse mortgages, because sometimes the title, the sign-in service will ask me that, you know, are you available to do a reverse mortgage? And I did those in the beginning, and it's not my favorite thing to do. It's a lot of pages. You want to charge more. for the reverse mortgage signings, but I rarely do those these days. I did it in the beginning because I wanted experience with everything, but nowadays I don't do it much. If if you're working with a signing service, once you get the business and the information, you want to call and confirm your appointment with the client. That's important. You know, you want to give updates to the signing service. You know, if there's a problem with the documents, if you know the problem, you know, you want to notify them immediately and let them know so they can get in touch with the lender and let them know that we need to change something, so or they can explain why it doesn't need to be changed. But and then also, if you're working with the signing service or title company, it's important to try to keep your documents error-free. So you want to check and recheck to make sure that you have no errors. You don't want to be the reason that the package is held up, because these people are waiting for their money. You know, as soon as everything clears and the rescission period is over, you know, they want their money. And then make sure that you price appropriately. If you're going to have to do scan backs or rural travel, or if you accept a late night signing, large packages, or, you know, a lot of times the signing service will want you to print a copy for them to sign and documents for the client. And sometimes there are two separate clients there, so you may be printing 3 packages. So you want to make sure you charge for all that if you're able. Now, if you have a set rate with the signing service, and it's something you can still negotiate, because, you know, maybe what I negotiated was the signing package and then a set of documents for the couple or the person that is doing the signing. So if you got to do an extra, maybe you can get you an extra $10 in there. It's worth trying. And let's see. That's about mostly what I do. You know, you want to make sure that for tax purposes, etc., that you have a system in place for, you know, you want to document your mileage and maybe what you earn per client. And if you're on like Notary Gadget or Notary Assist or Google Sheets, something like that, then they have programs there where you can get all that information there, and then you'll have it for tax purposes at the end of the year. And now, if you have any questions regarding anything I said here, or if you have some questions about any aspect of the loan signing agent, I think I've said in the past I did Mark Will's loan signing system, and it'll be 6 years in 2026. But if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I hope that you'll come see me in my next video. Bye-bye.